Welcome to the Trading Lounge. Today I'm going to show you how to lose $122 in under 30 seconds. Yes, I'm a little upset about it. Yes, I only had 2 trade days this week, so 3 no trade days this week. I was really hoping for something to hit the scanners today, and it did hit the scanner, and I fumbled it. Now, I didn't have to enter. I definitely had some things going on this morning. And then after this trade, I definitely realized I was emotionally compromised because of the trade and decided not to trade the rest of the day because I'm still up green on the week, only about $10. But I didn't want to mess that up. At least I can end the week green a few bucks. But I wanted to go back in, but it wouldn't affect my rules that I set for the week. So let's go over the rules real quick. By the way, my name is Jesse. I started this account, this small account, to try to originally take $1,000 to $100,000 as fast as possible as a rookie day trader. And then added some money to that, like personal money. So now instead of saying $1,000, it's just a small account to $100,000. And I don't really plan to add any more money. We're just going to let this thing ride and figure it out. Learning how to trade in a slow market. And last week I was red. This week I set some very specific rules. I followed those rules all week. I followed almost all of them today. And so let's get into the rules real quick. I see my camera's not on. There we go. Perfect. The rules I set for this week, the low float, so the stock had to be under 20 million, preferably 10 million, definitely under 5 million. Some breaking news, which is usually followed by some initial breakout with some volume on the charts. The stock had to be between $1 and $6, unless it was very clear that all eyes were on the stock, which happened quite a bit this week, but it was more on continuation trades, which is not a part of this week's strategy, but I might change that for next week. The entry, which is where I messed up today, was the first candle to make a new high after a pullback, and then no trades right at 4 a.m., so West Coast time, so 7 a.m. normal people. That was the rules that I had set for today, and then the scanners that I used today were Charts Watchers over here. And I really have enjoyed, is my thing not working? There we go. Pen tool's working. I have enjoyed this scanner. I won't go too much into this because I've talked about it a lot over the last few videos, and I am not ready to make a recommendation, like to give my all-in recommendation on a charting platform or scanner yet. I'm still working through my processes. The one that I know I've loved is over at Day Trade Dash, but it's a little spendy, and so I've been working through some other scanners, and this one has been good. But I'm not quite ready yet to fully say, hey, pay $50 for this thing or whatever it is you want to pay, And so we're close. It's a great scanner. The company is amazing. They fix issues right away. And my loss today is not a result of anything that company did, that Chart Watchers did, or any glitches it had. My loss today was because I had a poor entry, but my poor entry was I hesitated. We're going to get into it. But I didn't have to make the trade. It's all on me. So first thing this morning, this is what I see. What I was seeing was this is let me see if I can get it to fix. Okay, we're not fixed. 1 second. All right, will work now. Yeah. Okay, this is DAS Trader tape, and this is Webull tape. And these are the same time frames. And I'm getting red in Webull and green in DAS Trader. And I was also noticing mismatch between what I was seeing in DAS Trader and the charts. I don't know which one was having the issue, but I noticed a little bit of an issue this morning. So I was like, okay, we got something going on. I closed down Webull. I closed down DAS Trader, opened DAS Trader back up. And after like 5 minutes or so, it just kind of fixed itself. I don't actually know what was going on. It was happening on multiple stocks. And so eventually the level 2 DAS Trader was starting to match the charts. I was like, okay, great. Now we're good to go. Because what was happening is I was seeing green here, but my chart was showing red. And I'm like, well, this is okay. So do you have like hidden sellers and buyers and all that kind of thing? I'm like, no, this is very weird what I'm seeing. But eventually it just kind of fixed itself. But I did notice a mismatch here. And then the next thing I noticed was in Charts Watchers, I was getting the chart was glitching. We got like bars that were getting hidden, or like they'd like in the 1 minute candle, there'd be like a little space in between them. like things were gapping weird. And then I noticed that I was freezing. So right here, I took the screenshot right here on WTO, which I did not trade today. The price is at 322 here, and in my window, it's at 319. And then when I sent the screenshot and sent it over to Charts Watcher, it actually stayed frozen, I think, and like the difference was like 30 cents. I forget what it was, but there was an issue with the chart. So Charts Watchers, they recognized this. They already knew probably it wasn't just me. And then they reboot the system. So they shut it all down, the scanner, charting software, shut it all down. And so I have to resort to, let me see if I can get this going here. So weird how this works. Okay, cool. Thinkorswim. So which is no big deal. I just load up Thinkorswim. I'm not going to trade in here. I'm still going to use my Dash Trader window. I could have traded in there though. And then I'm just watching different stocks, and it's fine. I have a backup. Just this works great. And in hindsight, I kind of wish I would have stayed with them today, because of the issues that I was feeling in Charts Watchers today. So this is kind of how my morning's going, right? And I can't remember what image I have next. Okay, we'll skip that one. So finally on the scanner, LABT hits the scanner today. And this is, I'll pull this up real quick. This is the move that it makes. And we're going to go over this. So here is the run that it makes. I am going to just briefly talk through this. I'll go through the data, and then I'm going to go... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do the video now. Let's do a quick little video on this trade so you can see kind of what I was going through here. So the first thing I do is by the way, this is the stock I'm down $122 on. You can see I entered in at 805.17. I was completely out by 805.47 and for a loss of $120.30. Not happy about that because I spent all week waiting for this setup and I just fumbled it. So here's what happens. It hits the scanners, and the first thing I do is mark off these daily lines, which is something I've been working on. And I originally thought that this slowed me down, but it really didn't, actually. I just went back and looked at the video, and I'm like, no, this wasn't the issue. This wasn't the issue at all, actually. And if you go look, if I was to copy these, this is kind of will show you why this is important. Now, when a stock is moving up rapidly, I'm not going to have time to draw those out. Like I can visually see when a candle, like for example, this candle right here, I can visually see when that candle goes above the previous day's high. Like I don't need to mark it off, right? And then I'm a pretty visual dude, so like I can look over here and kind of see what's going on over here as well. But so in the moment, I might not mark off the lines, but it's something I've been doing, and I definitely had time to mark them off. So I marked them off, and I'll show you kind of why they're important. I'm just going to copy these over, and you will see a correlation. I don't think the first one really had. I think it was the next two. Is it this one? Huh. I'm telling you, this does not look the same as it did when I first did it. I'm telling you right now. Disregard this. I'm gonna go back and take a look at this later. See, it's just something's different on these charts than when I was trading it, and these charts already look different than what they did when I was reviewing this before this video. And so, I'm gonna look into it. Anyway, let's scratch that part of it. This thing runs up. There's a spot to get in right there. I don't get in. I'm waiting for it to get over $4, which is kind of this. At this point, I missed this move right here, and because I wasn't sure. And then we'll get into that. And then I wanted to push over $4. This candle right here pushes over $4, but it's right at the end, so I decided to wait. I get in on the next candle to make a new high. I don't get in right away. I wait for a little bit. I wait for what I was thinking was going to be the break of 450 as volume came in and the candle was moving. You'll see in a sec. I get in, immediately flushes out with a big seller on that. So we're going to go over this in a video. I'll try to keep it really quick. I know people are really busy, especially on a Friday, but I think it's important for people to see what was going on because I'm a very visual person. What was going on with the charting with the Charts Watcher charts that made me hesitate. And I really should not have even traded today. Based on what was going on this morning and what was going on with the charts, and you know what? I just shouldn't have done it. And then I just fumbled this. I fumbled this big time, and we'll go over it. Actually, let's go over the data so people can see the data real quick. Here's the data for anyone wanting to know. So we are green this week, which is great. Not by much, like $10. We're up $1,389, 110 winners, 69 trade days with a 67% win rate. we're not doing too bad in a cold market, but man, I'm frustrated today. And that's why I feel a little emotionally compromised. So I didn't take any more trades. Like I didn't do even a small trade on after the bell for like halts or anything like that. We're just going to call it a day and just take my $10 of profit or whatever it is. I don't even remember what it is, but I feel like that's what it is. All right, so let's pull up the video. I want to show you guys kind of what was going on here, and let me make sure I have all my tools. Okay, I think I can play. I think I have this ready to go. So here's about when I got the alert. I got it earlier than this. I want to say the price was like around 280 when I got the alert on Charts Watchers. Charts Watchers scanner is legit. Like I said, I'm not going to make full-blown recommendations right now, but if you need just a scanner, that scanner is the way it's set. The way I have mine set up, I took someone else's config and I just adjusted for myself, and I'm just like, wow, I just really enjoy it. It picked this up pretty early, and at this point, I'm watching it. I'm muting the sound because of what happened in one of my other videos, so you're not gonna be able to hear me talk in this. But I said like, oh, this one could be it. This could be my moment. I'm like, I'm excited. My heart rate's not high. I'm calm. I'm marking. You'll see me mark off the lines up here. We're just gonna watch this 3-minute segment real fast. Just bear with me. Is it playing? Yeah. Okay. So, where I want you to look is in this zone at this bar, and we're gonna start looking at what this bar does. I don't mind this. So see how this jumped from here to here right away. I don't mind that because that just means that it could have just gapped up right there at the opening, and that's fine. So I'm gonna just disregard that for now. But see how this. So hold on a sec. In just a second, it's gonna do it. Don't mind what's going on over here. I'm just going to mark the lines over here. I want you to focus right here. This is your 1-minute bar. We're marking off lines. Still plenty of time for me to make decisions if I want to go in on this trade or not, right? The high is 354. So right now, anything over 354, I could get in, right? And so here I am. I'm watching. I'm ready to buy. Like right here, I've moved my mouse in here just to make sure that it's activated, and I'm actually looking to buy when this moves over the candle. And right in here somewhere, we're going to see it. Right there. So now my candle disappears. And, I'm a very visual guy, visual learner, visual everything. You see the whiteboard behind me. I'm like all about whiteboards. I'm very, very visual, and I get thrown off by visual cues. And so right there, I only have that throws me off. And I'm like, well, I can't really depend on this. Look, I can trade off level 2. So like I remember the highs. The high. It shows me the high in here. Where is it? Where is the high? Is right here, 376. So I can just go off the last, and when that goes over 376 or whatever it was, I don't remember exactly how this works, but I could still get in. Like it's not a big deal. I didn't show you guys that, but that's fine. Anyway, that's from being emotionally compromised. So we're just gonna keep going. So you can see right here, the dang thing disappears on me, and then it's still kind of like not right, and then all of a sudden there it corrected itself and put it back where we're supposed to be. And so here, we have 20 seconds left in this candle. This is now I'm hesitating. And I'm like, I don't really know what to trust. However, this is the only opportunity I've seen in a while. Now, this is a new IPO. So you can see zero float here. It's got breaking news. It's running up. But with stocks that have new IPOs, the float's kind of, I don't know, I don't want to improperly say this, but to me it's kind of irrelevant. Like I'm just going off price action, and like if it's moving, it's moving. If it's not, it's not. Like I have no idea how many shares are available here to be traded. So it's zero float, but I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to move like a zero float stock. It just, gosh, I'm frustrated today. Okay. So we're going to keep moving through this. So now we got 354 is the high of this candle. And it's kind of weird. I'm just not seeing the accuracy here. Usually I can see. Maybe it was early. Oh, I see. Earlier in the day, it got a little bit higher right there. Okay, so yeah, the high probably is 276 right here. I don't remember. Anyway, we're gonna keep rocking. So 354. I'm gonna move through this, checking a couple levels on the daily, and now if this thing goes over 354, I want to get in. It pops right over 354. Opens there, It's going to pop right there. So here, I should be in. We'll call it 361. Looks like 358. Maybe I would have been in there, which would have been a good little entry. And pulls back a little bit. And it's going to jump up. Like, we had enough. We could have made a profit right there, for sure. I should have been right there. That is where I should have been in. But just because of that little chart glitch, I hesitated. And at this point, I know I have marked off this line right here. So I know 404 is like the next level, and then it can gap up to like $6. I think that's how it works. That's in my mind how it works. And I'm like, okay, so if it gets over 404, it could keep running, right? So here I am. I'm watching. I could probably skip ahead, but I just want to make sure that we don't see any weird chart glitches here. It's pulling back pretty hard. Again, I'm thinking, okay, over 404, I think I'll be a buyer. But what I don't like to have happen is when it pushes that threshold right as the minute's about to end. So you can see right here, we got 30 seconds left on this timer. And so I love this. I'm like, okay, this is great. Let's just stay down here. Like, this is perfect. I know this in my head because I hate it when this happens. I'm like, don't push over 4 right now. And then I see this volume start to creep in. Now, if I would have been trading on the 10-second chart at this moment, I would have probably went in right here. But I have not found much success trading on the 10-second chart, which is what I ended up doing anyway for a loss. So here we go. 11 seconds left. This thing's going to push up to $4. 404, I think. 410. There it is. So now we're at 49. We're pushing to 4. We're pushing up right here. And it's already moved through the threshold. And so that I had in my mind. So now we've broken that daily level. And now I'm like, darn it, like I just wanted it to not do that yet. So but at this point, that's fine. You just have to enter in on if this candle makes a new high. But my thing is, I really like to see a pullback at the top of these 1 minute candles. And I think we get a small one. We did. It goes up from, up to 110 down to like $4. So there's a nice little pullback right there. But that sequence that it happened in just wasn't really like what I was feeling. But even then, I'm like, okay, if it goes over 410, I'm a buyer. So right here, it just burst right over 410. Bam. Right there. So there, I should be in. 426, somewhere-ish around there, probably a little bit higher. Yeah, it stalled, so maybe like around 446, fine. And I'm watching. It's kind of hanging out. And then I see something up here. It's moving pretty well. Tops out at 460. I missed it. Let's be very clear about this. I missed it, okay? So now I'm looking for my entry, and I'm thinking this thing could still run. So the high is 461. And then right here on the 10-second chart is what I'm seeing. So I don't want to back it up because I don't want to mess this up, but we've got this little pullback. It actually pulls back a little bit further. Might have already done it. And then it starts to turn green. And I'm thinking it's going to break this level. So I'm going to enter on a 10-second candle over another candle. It did pull back. It didn't do a complete pullback. Like, you'd love for this to be red and then this one to shoot up next, which is what I should have waited for, but I did not. Actually, what I should have waited for was a 1 minute candle, which I love to do, right? So this is going to turn green, and you're going to see me enter right away. There, I entered right here. Turns green, I enter. It doesn't break this level, by the way. Maybe by a couple cents, I don't know. And then right away, you're going to see, I think I was green for like $33. I'm going to just let it roll, but let's see. It kind of moves down, and I'm like, okay, well, we're in at 450, and then I'm staring at the bid at this point. Right now, I should kind of already be out. Like, I'm already at my stop. Like, I'm 10 cents, like 440. But we give it a little time to run. I think it pops right here. No. So I just got in. I got in late, got in high, horrible entry. And then I'm holding too long here. I should have already been out right here. Okay. We should have been out already. And man, this is just horrible. And then I knew, you'll see when I got out, because right here, or right there, right here, we see our first big seller on the ask, which is there to scare people away. And it does scare people away. And in this market, and I'm already getting like weird things with my charts, I don't like my entry, I'm out. So I exit right here. That is my sign to exit. So as soon as I see this, I'm going to hit the play button. You're going to see I exit right away. Bam. So I've already executed up here. It's sending. We're exiting. And I think I got an okay exit. Yeah, exit price is 418. I'm not happy about that by any means, but I mean, like at least I recognize that that's what's going to happen. And I think it does shoot back up a little bit, but it's kind of irrelevant. But and then I noticed that I should have exited my entire position. It would have saved me about $16, but I exited only 75% of my position. And I noticed it right away. I didn't notice it right away, but I noticed it right away, but I let it play out. So it's really easy to see because this number, you still see action here, and it's really easy to see that I didn't do it. So then I'm like, okay, well, I have a little bit in here. Let's just see what happens. And then you'll see this bid start to move down. As soon as it starts chugging down into like closer to $4, I get out. Starting to move down, there we exit. And so here we are. We've got this big topping tail right here. I got caught up at the very top of it, thinking it would move past that point. Missed all of this move because I had a weird charting issue that I'm going to send to charts watchers. It flushes down, and then I'm down right here, $122 right there. And I'm not happy. Let's see if I'm going to let this next candle play out. I think it ends up being 2 topping tails, but I think it does come back up a little bit. But I'm not going to re-enter because I see big sellers on the ass the entire time. So we'll let this one more minute play out right here because I think it does recover, and I think we get 2 topping tails. But at this point, I'm just like, I don't think I want to go back in. Where are you? Yeah, $394. There it is right there. 413. But you see, I'll see if you see. Hold on, see if I can pause it. There it goes, 430, 426. Would have been nice to be able to, come back to that, but I thought maybe it would make another run. It does do some stuff throughout the day, but it doesn't really hold up here. We get a double topping tail here, and then it just kind of starts to flush a little bit. Right here is your double topping tail. And right here, this is stuff right here, right? 40,000. We're just chilling at 100, 1,000, 100. We're just going to drop 40,000 right there. And this is designed to scare people away. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That one's actually getting eaten up a little bit. No, it's not. And then there you have your topping tails, and I'm just going to guess. We'll just let this candle play out 8 seconds. And it probably starts to flush a little bit. We can just look at the chart, but at this point, I'm still looking for a re-entry, And she's done. These are just little tweezer tops, I think they call it, or something. I don't know. It's ugly at this point, and I'm frustrated. And then I think I'll just show you on the chart. We can get rid of this. And on the chart, I saw a couple of spots where where I'm like, I think I can make my money back here, but I will tell you that I felt I did. You can tell from my energy today. That I was a little emotionally compromised, $120, that's not a big deal. But where my frustration comes in is that I was patient all week. And the day, I didn't really have a problem with the charts all week, just today, and the one stock that pops in pre-market that I have a chance to really make some headway here. The chart bugs out at a time and makes me weary about my entry. That caused me to delay my entry because I would have wanted to be in earlier. Now, it's not anyone's fault but my own. I take the responsibility of entering on that trade. Don't get me wrong. But just the whole thing just ends up frustrating me because I've been patient all week and I had an opportunity and I missed it and I fumbled it. Now, I got out because it would have been really easy to stand there and lose a lot more money. That's the seasoned trader in me, is being able to recognize that when I should have been out earlier, but at the very least down there at the bottom, when I start seeing that big seller, I'm getting out. It bounced back a little bit. I would have probably made more money had I not got out. But who knows? I probably would have held longer and then dropped down. You know how that goes. I don't know, man. So, but I had an opportunity here. VWAP trades are something I've been very interested in. And a lot of times these stocks, especially if they have all the eyes on them, the VWAP can be a really good play. You can see what happened here I mean, that is just a nasty couple topping tails. This wasn't very clean here, This one was really clean, that one I wanted in right there, when you look at this chart now. And over this would have been okay too. Would have totally been okay. You see the topping tail now, but there was plenty of opportunity to make money in this move, right? And then you have this nasty little topping tail here. We've got topping tail, just not looking great, not looking clean, right? And then the MACD goes negative here, comes under, and then I'm watching it right here to see if it'll break VWAP. And I almost made this trade. I watched this entire thing. I watched this little pullback. I watched this open, and I watched this shoot up with a pretty good amount of volume. The MACD's negative. I'm not really too worried about MACD negative on a VWAP break, as long as it's trending in the right direction, because a lot of times they'll be negative there. Would I prefer a positive one? Sure, I would. But I really wanted that. Didn't take that. And I'm like, well, it could make another VWAP charge. And it does to make another VWAP charge over here. And I saw this one as well. I saw this little red candle here. This thing opens, charges up, makes a nice little jump from $4 to like $4.20. There were some opportunities here to make money if you wanted to do some VWAP trades. Certainly some this is a nice curl back right here, another little curl back here. There are some opportunities to make money, but at some point in time, I just realized I'm emotionally compromised. I'm visibly upset that I did not perform at my highest level on this trade, and I'm also upset that I didn't have the tools working for me the way that I am used to. So I'm going to probably do some kind of little recap, set new rules for next week. I'll do that over the weekend. But sorry, I hear my kiddo yelling in the background. But for my mind immediately went to I'm just done with charts. So I'm going to go back to Day Trade Dash. But then I'm like, well, it's expensive. So I pay $200 a month for that and then $150 a month for Dash Trader. That gets spendy, and it's a cost of doing business, but is it a cost I'm willing to pay right now? And now I asked someone who has Day Trade Dash, they did not have the charting issue. So I probably would have been a little bit more confident today going in that trade earlier. I'm not, maybe. And so, but I love their ChartWatcher scanner. It's legit. In my opinion, better than Day Trade Dash. So what I might do over the weekend, Dash Trader has charting as well. So I might set that up. I mean, as you can tell, I just use basic charts. I don't need a bunch of indicators or anything. So if I can set something up that functions decent enough for me, and I know Jess over at Where Trading uses OO and Dash Trader, he uses those charts as well a lot of the times. And so I'm just going to set that up until I feel really confident that ChartWatcher's charts works well, or I can just say, you know what? There was one bad day on the charts. There was a little bit of a glitch. I could have maybe just not traded today, because other than that, this week it hasn't really been that bad for me anyway. So I have to think about a plan moving forward with charting. Maybe I stay with it. Maybe I do Dash Trader. Maybe I go back to Day Trade Dash. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys had a green week. I did have a green week, enough to buy a latte. Anyway, stay up, keep learning, keep growing. I'm going to do my best to do as well. My wife said today, she's like, I could see how people would quit. I see how traders would quit. And she goes, I see how traders would lose a lot of money too. Like this is not easy. And thankfully I'm seasoned enough to know that the bare minimum, when I need to get out, for sure at one point, because when I first started a year ago, I probably would have stayed in that trade. It lost a few $100 or $500 and then held the bag and then tried to have it come back later. It's ugh. Okay, that's enough ranting. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'm going to get out there and try and enjoy the sun today. Cheers.